work today, Skip, because there was a move of substance and one maybe of just some circumstance. The Braves today sent Kerry Lightenberg back to Richmond, and they called up veteran outfielder Bernard Gilkey. Maybe it's an effort on Bobby's part to get an extra bat on his bench that he can go to if need be or insert into the lineup. Bernard's certainly no stranger to the Cardinals. He was with them in spring training, but we'll see how that works out after the Braves got him on waivers. Something else Bobby Cox did today to shake things up, no batting practice. Nobody was supposed to come to the park until about 5 o'clock. Normally they have a meeting about 4:30 to go over a new ball club coming to town, which happens to be the Cardinals. But today the meeting was postponed until about 6. The team did take infield practice prior to tonight's game. But one thing about the Cardinals, speaking of that ball club, a guy who's coming to town leading the National League in hitting again, and that's Jim Edmonds. Chipper Jones told me this was the guy he voted for MVP last year. He had a tremendous year in his first year with the Cardinals. He's picking up right where he left off last year. He's hitting .390, and with Mark McGwire out of their lineup with an injured knee, they need Jim Edmonds to do what he's doing. He's been outstanding again.
Dustin Hermanson will take to the mound for the Cardinals. Tom Glavine for the Braves, and back with the starting lineups. Play-by-play story right after this.
Braves baseball on the Superstation, brought to you by Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. By Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Office Depot. Nobody in the world sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot.
Got a big crowd on hand for the first of 3 between the Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Tony La Russa's starting lineup tonight for the Cardinals. Fernando Vina at the top of the order. Placido Polanco will bat second. Jim Edmonds is in the 3 spot, as I said, leading the league in hitting. And our first look at Albert Pujols, who was the Rookie of the Month for the month of April. J.D. Drew, a native of Georgia, will bat 5th. Edgar Renteria is just tearing up left-handers. He's only hitting .213 overall, but .370 against lefties, as you see, and all 3 of his homers have come off left-handed pitchers. Ray Lankford bats 7th. Eli Marrero will do the catching for Dustin Hermanson, who bats 9th. For the Braves tonight, a defense of B.J. Surhoff, Andrew Jones, and Brian Jordan left to right. Chipper Jones for call. Keith Lockhart at second. Rico Brogna at first. Kilby O'Vera still battling a flu bug. Javi Lopez will do the catching, and Tom Glavine on the mound for his 7th start. He's 4-1, a .349 ERA, but he's on a good roll. He's won 4 in a row with an ERA right around 2. He still has a little bit of a high mark in walks for the year, 24 walks in 38 innings, but he's won 7 in a row against the Cardinals over 8 starts dating back to September of '95. There are your umpires, with Al Clark entering his 26th year in the big leagues, calling the balls and strikes tonight.
Okay, Joe, and Fernando Vina leads it off, hitting at .295 with 6 runs driven in, no homers. We're ready to go. Perfect night again. Glavine delivers, and we're underway as he misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. 79 degrees at game time, they say. The 1-0 pitch. Right in there. It's 1-1. Foul to the screen. A ball and 2 strikes.
Tommy's 14-4 career-wise against the Cardinals, 6-3 in this ballpark. Not too many pitchers have handled this ball club like he has in the last 5 years.
Even without McGwire, they're a pretty good group on the infield. Who wants it? Keith Lockhart puts it away, 1 down.
Cardinals are 13-13. They're in 4th place in the Central Division, 2.5 back. This was like the Braves, a ball club that everybody thought would get off to a good start. They're expected to win the division again, but they have gotten off to a slow start. They've won 6 of their last 10 and seem to be getting a little bit healthy. But a team that you're used to seeing run a lot, they're 12th in the league. That's kind of interesting. Tells you how their ball club has changed over the last few years.
Placido Polanco is the batter, hitting .343. Jim Edmonds on deck. 1 ball, no strikes. Always a lot of St. Louis fans in the ballpark when they come to town here. St. Louis just 600 miles away. Sharply hit. Lockhart can't get it. So there's the first hit of the game, a ground single into center. And Jim Edmonds stands in, leading the league with a .390 average, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. This guy is some player. And the talk of baseball, Albert Pujols, moves on deck. The rookie has turned everybody's head with his good play. There he is. Glavine ready to go to work. Polanco leads away. There's a strike to Edmonds. 0-1.
It turned out to be a good deal. Kent Bottenfield, who's now at Houston, and infielder Adam Kennedy for Jim Edmonds in March of last year.
Fly ball into left. On comes Surhoff. He's got it. 2 down. He's got a chance for a double play, but the runner gets back. Polanco almost got caught in no man's land. 2 out.
Now B.J. broke back on this ball at first and had to hustle in to recover. Tried to make the throw on the run and get as much on the throw as he could, but Polanco gets back.
And Albert Pujols stands in. He tied a record with 8 home runs in April, a rookie record. Kent Hrbek, Carlos Delgado also had 8 homers in April in their rookie year. Pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. He's got a 9-game hitting streak working, and he's hitting .366, and he had a 13-game hitting streak earlier in the year. So,
and almost didn't make their ball club.
Yeah.
Were it not for the fact that Bobby Bonilla had to start the season on the disabled list, he wouldn't have made their club.
Well, he's made it now, and it looks like he's going to be around for 15 years.
6'3", 210. He has started games at first, at third, in left field and right field, and now batting cleanup.
And none of it seems to bother him. He's just 21 years old. High pop, right side, out of play.
He's a great story. He and his father, he was born in the Dominican Republic, and he and his father moved to Kansas City, I believe, when he was about 16. And he graduated from high school in Independence, Kansas, a suburb there just outside of Kansas City. Went to a junior college, and the Cardinals drafted him and signed him in the 13th round. This is just his 2nd year of pro baseball. Last year he played A, AA, and AAA.
Sort of like Andrew Jones, the way his career has taken off. 3-1 the count. Be careful here.
People in the Cardinal camp tell me, though, that this guy is wise beyond his years in baseball experience. He knows how to play the game.
The 3-1 pitch. They chase him back. Padres lead the Reds 4-1 in the 3rd. Cubs shut out the Dodgers today 4-0.
Chicago's playing good.
They really are. High fly ball, center field. Back goes Andrews, still going on the track at the wall. He's got it.
Holy smokes.
See if he's okay. He is, and the inning is over. Boy, that ball really carried. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left, and 1 fine play. Took a home run away. Bottom of the 1st, no score.
Back here at Turner Field, we go to the bottom half of the 1st inning. Here's Bobby Cox's lineup tonight. Rafael Furcal at the top of the order. Andrew Jones just made that sensational catch in center. Will bat 2nd, then Chipper Jones. B.J. Surhoff has had some good luck against Dustin Hermanson. 4 for 8 in his career with a homer. Brian Jordan will follow him. Brian's hit in 10 straight games. Then it's Bronya, Lopez, and Lockhart. Tom Glavine, the pitcher, bats 9th. For the Cardinals defensively tonight, Ray Langford in left, Jim Edmonds the center fielder, and J.D. Drew in right field. Polanco at third, Renteria the shortstop, Fernando Vina at second base, Albert Pujols tonight playing first base. Eli Marrero is doing the catching. And 28-year-old Dustin Hermanson, 6'2", 200 pounds, out of Springfield, Ohio, makes his 6th start of the year. He's 1-1 with a high 6.04 ERA. He came over from the Expos along with Steve Klein back on December 14th for third baseman Fernando Tatis and pitcher Britt Reams. Hermanson's last start, a good one against New York. He got no decision. His teammates couldn't hold the lead for him. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, gave up only 2 runs. He's lifetime 2-4 against Atlanta.
And Rafael Furcal will lead it off against him. Rafael, just the polar opposite of how things went for him last year. Last year he was really cooking offensively and struggled defensively. This year his defense has been outstanding, but as you see, his offense not yet up to snuff. The strike is called.
Strikeouts are really a concern more than anyone else on the team.
1-1 the count.
And as you pointed out last night, as long as he's putting the ball in play and putting some pressure on the defense, that's what they want from him.
Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. Eli Marrero works behind the plate. 1-2 the count.
Everybody shortened up on the left side of the infield. Even Pujols in close at first in case there's a bunt attempt.
There's a solid hit. Furcal is aboard. Edmonds hustles it back in. And a good start for Atlanta. Bernard Gilkey, by the way, is here and available to the Braves.
Andrew gave the fans a thrill here early on. They'd barely settled into their seats when he made this great catch off the bat of Albert Pujols to rob him of a home run. And it would have been over the fence. Brought it back.
He almost got too close to that fence before he leaped, but made the play brilliantly. Look out. Almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. Andrew 6 out of 20 against Hermanson in his career. That's a .300 average. Crowd of around 43,000, I would guess. Same 2 teams tomorrow night and again on Sunday afternoon, and then we head west. Play the Padres Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Dodgers over the weekend. Dodgers lead the Pacific Division. There goes the runner. Swung and missed. Bad throw. He's safe.
That might be interference. No? I thought Laz Diaz might call interference on Vina, who kind of had his arm wrapped around Rafael when he got up.
A good throw would have had him.
You know, if Rafael had taken off for third base, even if he's thrown out, he might have gotten interference called here. Fake tag, and then right here, Fernando's kind of impeding his progress, and Diaz is pointing at it, but no call made.
1-1 the count. Ground ball headed for left field. Base hit for Collar on third. Langford up. He'll make no throw, and the Braves lead. So Rafael Furcal's first stolen base since April 25th results in an Atlanta run and the 12th RBI of the year for Andrew Jones.
Some aggressive base running here on the part of Rafael. Ball hit in front of him, and he decided to take off anyway. Didn't wait to see if it was going to go through, and it provides the Braves a run because of it. He had to know that Renteria was playing right behind him, trying to hold him close, and he knew he had room to go.
Still no one out. Runner at first, a run in. Baltimore leads the Yankees 2-1 in the second. Cleveland, Tampa Bay scoreless in the second. Chipper takes low and away. He is having some year. 338 homers, 24 runs driven in. Phillies 1-0 over the Giants after 2. Houston, Montreal scoreless after 2.5. San Diego 6-1 over the Reds in the third. Florida 3-1 over Milwaukee in the third. 1-1 the count to the Atlanta third baseman.
It's funny how not taking batting practice can kind of clear your head a little bit. You just start fresh. Didn't go to the ballpark and worry about your swing or worry about where you're hitting the ball. Just come out, grab a bat, get going.
I think what Bobby's saying is maybe the guys are thinking too much.
Yeah.
That can happen. See the ball, hit the ball.
And give them a little extra time at home, you know, before they come to the ballpark. Save a little energy.
I don't know how much energy you saved though, trying to drive down here in this traffic on Friday night.
Good point.
God. The 1-2 got him. Chipper's out of there, first out of the inning, and B.J. Surhoff the batter. He's 4 out of 8 against Hermanson in his career, a home run included.
Hermanson throws hard enough to get away with some high fastballs, but he's not in that 93, 94 category. Most of the time he's around 88 to 90. He's a guy that got drafted out of high school in like the 36th or 39th round, something like that, by the Pirates. Didn't sign, went to Kent State, and then was a #1 pick in the nation, actually 3rd pick in the nation, 1st round pick by the Padres back in '94. So I would say the college experience did him a lot of good in a couple of different ways.
Made him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just the moving up in the draft. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0.
He actually got traded for Kilvio Veras in one deal when he went from San Diego to Florida, and then was involved in a deal from Florida to Montreal that brought Cliff Floyd to the Marlins. They're happy about that.
I wouldn't mind having this fella. He's a pretty good pitcher.
Tough cookie too. Good competitor.
There goes the runner. Fly ball, short right field, long run, but Drew is there. He's got it. 2 down. And Andrew scampers back to first base. Brian Jordan, the hitter, a former Cardinal.
And being teamed now with his old buddy Bernard Gilkey, who I believe arrived a little after 6:30 tonight from Richmond. There he is. An extra bat on the bench. Kerry Lightberg sent to Richmond to get some kinks ironed out. I know he's disappointed, but he needs to pitch some.
Gilkey has had some outstanding major league seasons. Not the last 2 or 3 years, though. Maybe this is the year. The 0-1. Chase the runner back.
There were some questions about his vision a couple of years ago when he was with Arizona.
He was the first ball player, I think, to have that laser surgery. Well hit left field. Runner to third. Runner tries for second. He is safe. It's a double. Second and third, 2 out.
11 straight hit in by Brian Jordan. I'm glad his foot didn't come off the bag down at second base. Went down and got a breaking ball. Good piece of hitting. And Ray Langford, who injured his throwing shoulder about 3 years ago, comes up with a good throw. That's the best throw I've seen him make in at least 2 years. Maybe his arm is healthy again.
Gilkey hit .305 for the Cardinals in '93, .298 in '95, .317 for the Mets in '96. And since then he has struggled. Well, he had 294 as a part-time player with Arizona in '99. Last year 110 at Arizona, 231 at Boston. 275 career hitter. 2-0 to Rico Brogna.
It's a good spot for Rico to break out. He's scuffling, but he's been a good 2-out hitter. Runners in scoring position. A lot of his 8 RBIs have come with 2 out.
Three balls, no strikes. Javi Lopez is next. See if they turn him loose here.
Marrero was looking in, and Tony La Russa was reminding him that he might be swinging 3-0.
Right in there. 3 balls, 1 strike.
That's despite some struggles in recent days. 4 for his last 36.
Full count now, 3-2. Nice catch by a fan up in the Lexus level. Well hit center field, but Edmonds is there and the inning is over. Rico hit it hard, but right at him. Braves got a run on 3 hits and leave 2 after 1. Braves 1-0. Second inning here.
That was a Bubba bomb.
A Bubba bomb? There's a baby who probably doesn't know about the Bubba bomb.
No.
J.D. Drew leads off the second inning. One and one. Craig Biggio got a base hit tonight, the 2000th of his major league career.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's a pretty good milestone. Outside, 2-1.
J.D. Drew's numbers a little bit like Andrews in that he's got 9 home runs and that leads the team, but he's only got 15 RBIs. Andrew now 7 homers and 12 RBIs.
Off the end of the bat, he popped it up foul. 2-2. Kevin Tapani pitched 7 innings, a 4-hit shutout ball for the Cubs today. Kyle Farnsworth from out in Alpharetta and Jeff Facero each pitched an inning in the win over the Dodgers. Chan Ho Park to lose it. Did he go? No.
Two pretty good umpires in this crew that I'm familiar with. Al Clark behind the plate, who's been around a long time, as you saw at the beginning of the broadcast, and Rick Reed umpiring at third.
Drew draws a leadoff walk.
Tommy thought he had a strikeout.
Number 3, Gary Ventura.
I think he did.
Pretty close. Wasn't low.
Leo Mazzoni not too happy about that call. Edgar Renteria, the batter, is struggling. 0 for his last 11, hitting .213 for the year. A former Florida shortstop.
Former World Series hero for them.
1 ball, no strikes.
I'm a little surprised J.D. Drew doesn't run more than he runs. He's 1 out of 3 this year. I'll have to check and see how many he stole last year, but he's supposed to have good wheels.
He's out of Hayhira, Georgia. Down
He's
close to Valdosta.
He did steal 17 last year.
Down the right field line, Jordan on the run. No, he couldn't make the catch, and runners at first and second. Drew started to go, thought the ball was going to drop, and then he slammed on the brakes, and all he could get was second base. So 2 are on with no one out.
Good piece of hitting by Renteria on a changeup that was probably off the plate for a ball, and a good play by Bryan to keep the ball from getting by him.
And here's Ray Langford hitting .270. He's batted 74 times and struck out 31 of them, and that's been a problem for him throughout his fine career. A lot of strikeouts, and he's another guy who runs extremely well.
Yeah, boy. Funny thing about his marks this year, he's 4 for 9 against left-handed pitching.
Shows no sign of bunting and takes a strike. 0-1. He is 19 out of 54. He's done all right against Tom Glavine. Two. Boy, a strikeout would be nice here.
They've got a couple of guys that are hitting much better on the road than they are at Busch Stadium. Langford, for example, hitting .382 on the road. His overall average .270. Polanco among the league leaders with a .481 road average. 150 points higher than his overall.
As Glavine gets ready to go to work, Langford steps out. This is the Cardinals' only trip to Atlanta this year. We go there once. Got him on 3 straight. Langford argues, but he's called out on strikes.
Well, Al Clark upset Tom Glavine by not calling J.D. Drew out. Now he upsets Ray Langford by calling him out on what appeared to be almost an identical pitch.
Eli Marrero is the batter. He's off to a good start, hitting .351 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. The runners, it's still at first and second. It's 1-0 Atlanta, and we're in the second. Way outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Their everyday catcher Mike Matheny won a Rawlings Gold Glove last year. You might remember that he missed the playoffs with an injury and took a shot on his thumb the other day, so he may catch 1 game in this series. Otherwise, it's Marrero, who's a very good defensive catcher, calls a good game too.
The 1-0 swung, fly ball down the right side. Brian Jordan going into the corner at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Runner tags, goes to third. That's 2 of them that might have been out of this ballpark that have been taken away already. 1 by Jones, 1 by Jordan.
Didn't that appear to be another pop-up to you?
Yeah.
Ball is jumping tonight. Andrew and Brian both looking around. They're actually looking at the flags to see what's going on here. Brian had to do a double take to see how close he was getting to the fence. And then another home run taken away. Nice catch. Great camera work, guys. Nice play, Brian.
We take that great camera work for granted because they do it so often, but they're the best group in baseball. On the corners, first and third, 2 out. Hermanson, a pretty good hitter. He's hitting .200 this year with an RBI. 0-1 the count.
Well, you got to feel pretty good if you're Tom Glavine, knowing that a 2-run homer was saved in the first and a 3-run homer was just saved behind you.
And that means Surhoff will save a grand slam in the third. The 0-1. A ball and a strike. Pittsburgh and Colorado 1-1 in the 4th. Arizona 2-1 over the Mets in the 4th. A little late with that swing. It's 1-2. The Braves play him close to straight away. I'd move Andrew way over into right center after that swing.
Especially if Tommy's going to pitch him that way.
The 1-2 pitch. A little bit inside. 2-2. This is the pitch he wants to make it happen on.
We were talking about those strikeouts of Ray Langford. Cardinals are 14th offensively in strikeouts, 217, and they're 15th in walks.
Struck him out, pitched him away again, and the inning is over.
They're up there hacking.
St. Louis blows a great chance to score. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 2 left. Bottom of the second. Atlanta leads it 1-0. Half of the second inning.
Craig Biggio probably will say, okay, I'll take that ball and I'll mark it as my 2000th hit, but the real one will come when I hit that rope up the middle next time up.
He's hoping already that he can forget about how he got that hit. Cleveland has jumped all over Tampa Bay with 4 in the third. They're still batting. 4-0 the score. As you see, Javi Lopez leads it off.
It's unfortunate that Javi had to sit out a couple of games with his sore thumb because it looked like he was getting back on track offensively. A triple and a homer his last start.
Who wants it? Vina calls for it. 1 away. Lopez retired. Here's Keith Lockhart hitting at 272. Glenn Diamond, our producer again tonight, and Dan Reagan, our director. Speaking about the best, they're in that category too. 0-1 the count to Keith Lockhart. Glenn's the only producer I know who throws parties at his house with a cash bar. But other than that, he's a great guy.
Well, that 7-Up is pretty expensive.
Yeah. The 0-2 pitch into the dirt. Guerrero boxed it.
Cardinals are in a stretch where they're playing a lot of road games. 25 out of 29.
The old schedule maker works in mysterious ways. 2-2. Rain delay in Texas where the White Sox want to play tonight. Johnny Oates got fired today, by the way.
Not that.
Nice catch. That's a tough play. But Polanco was equal to it. 2 down.
They called it a resignation, I guess. But with the Rangers off to an 11-17 start, 11 games back of Seattle, they've lost 5 in a row. Make of it what you will. Johnny Oates is a good man. He's, I think, in his 6 seasons there, he had a winning record 4 times, been in the playoffs 3 times. I'm happy for Jerry Narron, who's been named the manager in his place.
Broken bat, roller to short. And the inning is over. Nothing doing for the Braves in the second. Atlanta leads 1-0 after 2.
Braves are up 1-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, and boy, a really good movie coming up on Sunday on TBS Superstation. An uplifting tale of a man wrongly imprisoned for the murder of his wife and her lover, protesting his innocence all the way. He must endure the horrors of prison until he is befriended by another inmate, and an unexpected opportunity wins him favor with a sadistic guard. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman star in Shawshank Redemption this Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern on the Superstation.
That was a Castle Rock Entertainment movie, wasn't it?
If you're asking me, I can't answer that. I just know it was a good one.
Oh, it's terrific. Vigna popped to second his first time.
There were a lot of really good characters in that movie. Well cast.
Morgan Freeman played Red. He was great. A ball and a strike to count. Anyway, Johnny Oates got fired because they didn't give him any pitching. Or he resigned because they didn't give him any pitching, whichever way you want to say it.
Right. It's tough to outscore somebody every single night. Just take a look. Let me just find the American League stats.
Well hit to right, but Bryan is there, 1 out.
Okay, Texas was second in the league in hitting. And in runs scored, they were first in the league in runs scored. ERA, they're dead last. Chicago is next to the last. White Sox have a 5.42 ERA, okay? 5.42. The Texas Rangers ERA, 6.72.
Oh, my goodness. And they knew that going into the season. They knew they didn't have any pitching.
And only Tampa Bay had made more errors than they had.
Lined up the middle, base hit. Polanco strokes a single. He's aboard with 1 out, and he's 2 for 2.
More good road hitting from Polanco. He's hitting .435 against lefties coming in. .481 on the road. He's adding to both of those tallies now.
Shows you the kind of reflexes Glavine had. He almost caught that ball as hard as it was hit. Here's Jim Edmonds. Flied to left his first time.
Jim Edmonds is, in my view, an awesome and very typical left-handed hitting low ball hitter.
He's never had a hit off Glavine. 0 for 5. I'm not blaming Alex Rodriguez, but if you're going to go get him, you better get some pitching.
American League is supposed to be, with the DH, a more offensive league than the National League, of course. But there's only so much you can do when you're scoring 7 a night if you're giving up 7 a night.
The 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
You know, something a lot of people argued when they signed A-Rod. Skip, I know you agreed with this too, is that I know the fans love having him there. They love going to watch him play, but they'd rather go watch them win, wouldn't they?
I would think so. 1-2, the count to Edmonds here. He laid off. It's 2-2. They signed Ken Caminiti. They signed Andres Galarraga after they signed A-Rod. If they'd have used that money trying to get pitching, it might have helped their situation.
I agree.
2 balls, 2 strikes. One on, 1 out. 1 on, 2 out.
Good off-speed pitch again to Edmonds. He got him to pop to left on a changeup back in the first inning, and doing a good job of keeping the ball down and away from him. Dives into the plate, trying to cover that outside corner, goes after a ball.
And when the inning is over, Glavine will be sitting in that dugout saying to himself, "Well, I've gotten him with changes twice. I better throw him a fastball." Here's Pujols, who was robbed of a homer his first time. Takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
This guy looks bigger than 6'3", 210, doesn't he?
No. No.
He's really broad across the shoulders.
He's built a lot like me.
Where?
Broad across the shoulders.
Well, let's see
The only difference.
Let's see the back. See him from a back view, guys. Let's see. Well, if you took this out maybe around in here.
You're using the telestrator, and the crowd goes wild.
Well, I think now I've got it.
The most useless piece of equipment in the history of television.
Except when it came to diagramming where you were close to. See, now when you look at Louis from this angle, and you have this right in here, now we're talking. That is you.
Yeah, that's all I said. All I talked about was the shoulders. 3-0. Will he be swinging? No. 3-1. I know many of you in the viewing audience are very upset at the treatment I'm being given here, but I can handle it.
That you can. I will give you that. I can't diagram thick skin, but you've got it.
3-2. Runner will go with the payoff pitch. So Glavine has come back from a 3-0 count.
And don't expect a fastball here. His bread and butter, even 3-2, is that changeup. Fastball in's what Javi called for.
Too far in. 2 on, 2 out. Good idea, though. If you're going to miss inside, don't miss out over the plate. Miss inside. Here's Drew. Second walk for Glavine. Drew walked his first time. That's a statistic that is surprising.
But you know what? I was asked about that before the ball game by one of the Cardinals broadcasters, and if you just look at the number, you equate it to wildness. You just assume, well, he's really struggling with his control, and nothing could be further from the truth. It's just that Tom won't give in regardless of the count, and he will. And he has said, I'd rather walk somebody than give in and risk giving up a long one somewhere.
The 0-1 pitch. Gets by Javi. Tried to one-hand the ball. Let's see how they score it. I don't know if it went in the dirt or not.
Whatever happened, 2 runners got into scoring position instead of 1.
We'll see how they score it. They haven't yet.
It's
wild pitch?
A wild pitch.
They say it went into the dirt. That makes it almost automatically a wild pitch. 1-1 the count.
Javi didn't get in front of it, though.
Just missed outside. 2 balls and a strike.
And he's got first base open. Drew leads their team in homers. The guy on deck already has a base hit tonight, and Renteria came into the ball game with a .391 career mark against Tom.
The 2-1, little dribbler to second, should be out of the inning, and he is. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 2 men left. Cardinals have left 5 already. Would go to the bottom of the 3rd. Braves lead 1-0.
Braves lead 1-0. They got the run in the first inning after Rafael Furcal singled to lead off the game, stole second, scored on a single by Andrew. But watch these swings back to back and pay particular attention to his head. How his head came off that swing and how still it is on that swing to center field.
And Dustin Hermanson gets ready to go to work.
One more time, just watch his head. When he gets in trouble, he's swinging so hard his head comes off the ball. But here, still, and I mean, he followed that ball right into the bat and watched it go right off the barrel of the bat into center field. When he stays compact and up the middle, he's tough.
Hit that ball well to center field, but Edmonds is there and puts it away. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Office Depot scoreboard. Some finals for you. Skip told you about the Cubs shutting out the Dodgers on 4 hits. San Diego behind a home run by Klesko and Bubba Trammell leading Cincinnati. Florida over Milwaukee 4-3. Cliff Floyd's hit his first. And you'll see these scores as we keep running here in the American League. Raining in Texas. Johnny Oates resigning there, as you know. And for all the highlights and all the up-to-date information, go to MLB.com for the most complete coverage of baseball on the internet.
0-1 the count to Andrew Jones. There's 1 out here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Braves on top 1-0. A ball and a strike. Andrews singled in a run his first time. Got around too quickly on that one, hit it foul.
That pitch almost looked like he was going to hit him.
A ball and 2 strikes.
I might be asking Al Clark the same thing. Watch this ball run in on him. I think he was headed for his back hip.
Look out. 2-2. With you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, a half hour earlier on Saturdays, and 1 o'clock on Sunday. Is Sunday Mother's Day?
Week from Sunday.
And Andrew gets caught looking.
Number 10, third baseman, Chipper Jones.
Here's Chipper. He struck out his first time. He's 6 out of 25 against Dustin Hermanson in his career. Right at the second baseman, and Hermanson has set down 7 men in a row. At the end of 3, your score, 1-0 Atlanta.
We go to the 4th inning here at Turner Field. Braves are up 1-0. Time for tonight's Aflac trivia question. Tonight's question: which major league manager has the most wins in postseason history? Good question. Casey Stengel would be a quick choice, but we're not playing the Yankees.
Well, that's true.
And sometimes it's tied into who the Braves are playing.
Renteria grounds 1 to short. Should be easy, and it is. 1 pitch, 1 out. And when Casey managed, it was just the World Series, none of this playoff nonsense.
True. Tony La Russa's been through the wars in the playoffs with the White Sox, the A's, and the Cardinals.
Bobby Cox with the Braves and Toronto.
Did he get in the playoffs with Toronto?
Yeah. Once, I believe.
That's right. Well, they had a great outfit.
Ray Langford, the batter. He struck out his first time, and he comes up empty there. Empty is not a word.
But Alan Embry pitches for the Giants. He used to be with the Braves.
That's right.
That's probably where you kind of got off track.
Yeah, I think so.
Your railroad tracks are real narrow, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the horseshoe rode in on Joe. 1-1 the count. Glavine out in front, 1-2. Tommy has struck out 3. He's walked 2. He leads 1-0. Each team has 3 hits. They're underway in Texas. White Sox got a run in the first. In fact, they're still batting.
Ray Langford can hit anybody's fastball. That's why he stands right up on top of the plate. Feet are fairly close together, short stride, but he has a very quick bat inside.
Struck him out again.
Hence, pitch him away and keep it away.
2 down, and Eli Marrero, the batter. Well, they had a good question on the radio talk show the other day. Has a pitcher ever hit for the cycle, and if so, who was it? I don't know the answer.
Huh.
That's a pretty good question.
That is a good one. We're talking about the struggles of the Texas pitching staff. Their best ERA on their staff, Kenny Rogers, has a 5.71 ERA. The Braves cumulative staff, they have a losing record. They're 9-10, but look at that, 2.72 staff ERA.
One hopper, still got him, inning over.
Wow. I don't know how he made it an accurate throw.
1-2-3, nothing doing. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning with the Braves enjoying a 1-0 lead. Well, there's the prettiest real estate lady in Atlanta, and she doesn't know how to spell. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, she worked hard on that sign. That was good. What does that mean? Where's the beef? I mean,
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's Jenny Ferguson from Jenny Pruitt and Associates.
Which Major League manager has the most wins in postseason history? The answer to our Aflac trivia question, well, it is Bobby Cox.
I tried to tell you.
55 wins. He's 55-50. 524 winning percentage. He was 55-47 before last season.
Speaking of the Cardinals,
these Cardinals whooped up 24-10. They outscored the Braves in those 3 games.
1 ball, no strikes to B.J. Surhoff.
That series got off to the worst possible start ever, didn't it? That first inning in St. Louis. Chipper made an error. Andrew dropped the fly ball.
I wasn't there. And as that went on, I was very happy about it.
That's right. You were stolen away by another network for the postseason, but Greg Maddux had to suffer through that. The Braves actually battled back, got close, but 7-5 was the final, and I think St. Louis got like 6 runs in that first inning.
I was watching it. It was ugly. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good play by Vina. 1 down. Took a base hit away. 8 men in a row set down by Dustin Hermanson.
That one right on the nose. And that was something that was plaguing Brian Jordan at the beginning of the year, hitting the ball hard and right at people.
Montreal manager Felipe Alou kicked out of the game in the 5th inning by Rocky Rowe for arguing Jeff Bagwell's homer was a foul ball. Edmonds will handle that, though it's sharply hit. 2 down.
Speaking of Brian Jordan hitting the ball at someone.
And Rico Brogna stands in. 9 in a row. The White Sox lead Texas 1-0, bottom of the 1st. After a lengthy rain delay. On the outside corner, 0-1. Dallas Perez and Rick Ankiel tomorrow. And then Millwood and Darryl Kyle on Sunday afternoon.
Whichever one of those 2 pitchers tomorrow comes in and throws strikes right away and gets ahead in the count's going to be the victor. They both suffer from wildness. Dallas Perez 18 innings so far this year with 14 walks. And Keel 17 innings and 17 walks.
That's about 1 an inning for him.
About the average, yeah.
There's a fellow who's an attorney as well as a fine baseball manager, Tony La Russa. And he also has a charity protecting animals. I'll give you the correct name of it here in a minute.
He's seen just about anything that can happen on the ball field, I would say, over that many years managing.
As a player, he played in Atlanta, but very, very briefly. He was 2 out of 7 as a Brave.
That would make him the cleanup hitter this year, wouldn't it?
Just about, yeah. Fly ball pretty well hit to center field, but not deep enough. Edmonds puts it away, and the inning is over. And it's the Tony La Russa Animal Rescue Foundation. 1-0 Atlanta after 4.
Braves baseball on the Superstation, brought to you by Office Depot. Nobody in the world sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot. And by Delta. Fly with a little understanding.
Larry Smith back in the studios. How about this from Todd Helton of the Rockies in Pittsburgh? Does it have enough to get out of PNC Park? Yes, on the bounce into the Allegheny River. That's a 3rd inning shot. Rockies lead in the 6th. Let's go back to the game.
Okay, Larry, thank you. Here it's the 5th inning. Dustin Hermanson leads it off.
See that? That was out there in the confluence.
In the confluence of the 3 rivers, man.
Goodness gracious, what a blast. That was almost a mile-high type of blast.
Where did Larry say it landed? In the Allegheny?
Uh-huh.
Pretty well hit to left field, but BJ's got it. 1 down.
Dustin Hermanson's hit a couple of home runs in his career. In fact, he hit one in his first Major League plate appearance, and he was the 13th pitcher in Major League history to do that.
Top of the order, Fernando Vina will be the batter. Pretty good pitchers duo working here. Pete Van Weer and Don Sutton will join you after this half inning. Vina tonight has popped to second and fly to right. Still the Braves playing to hit the left. One ball, no strikes.
He had a good division series in those 3 games against the Braves last year. He hit 308 against Atlanta and led off game 3 with a home run off Millwood.
Hit hard right at him. 2 out. Nice play by Cal. And Placido Polanco, who's 2 for 2, is the batter. Time to pack up for that long walk over to radio. Two out, nobody on. Looks like another routine 1-0 victory, at least to this point.
That's the only win so far for the Braves in this homestand in the first 3 games at Maddox Gym. Home run from Surhoff in the 2nd inning.
Right off the end of the bat, and that's going to be that. 1, 2, 3, nothing doing there. 7 in a row, set down by Glavine. Bottom of the 5th, Braves lead it 1-0.
Nothing Atlanta. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Pete Van Weer and Don Sutton joining you now. And Don, you pitched for some ball clubs in Los Angeles and in Houston that did not score a whole lot of runs. Did you sometimes feel when you're with a club like that if they get you one in the first, that might be all you're going to get?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You try to guard against that feeling, and you try to guard against thinking, I can't make a mistake. I've got to make all perfect pitches. And I think you've got the right personality right there for a guy who is not going to put undue pressure on himself. He's going to pitch his ball game and trust that either one is going to be enough or they're going to get him more.
Well, let's see if the Braves can get him some more. Javi Lopez taking ball one. Lopez popped to second his first time up.
And you have to be careful what you say, too, if you're the pitcher. You know, sometimes you'd like to kid about it. You know, you'd like to walk up down the dugout and say, okay, guys, you know, it's okay to score. 2 is okay. You know, that's all right. But you really have to be careful. Because somewhere, you do that, even kidding, somebody will say to you, well, if you don't give up anymore, we're fine.
Here's the 2-0 now to Javi Lopez, and he bounces one right to Polanco at third. One gone in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
My count right? That's 11 in a row?
Yeah, ever since the double by Brian Jordan. Got the final out in the 1st inning, 1, 2, 3 in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and now the first out here in the 5th.
What have we been talking about? Braves having trouble hitting with runners in scoring position. Well, they're batting 1,000 with runners in scoring position tonight. Just haven't been getting anybody in scoring position.
Lockhart fouled out to third his first time. Nothing in 1. First of 3 with the Cardinals. Only 6 meetings between these clubs this year. 3 this weekend here, and then at the end of July and into early August, the Braves make their only visit of the year to St. Louis. On the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Hermanson also one of those guys that looks like as the game goes along, he gets a little bit stronger and a little bit quicker, and his fastball gets a little bit livelier. He's got one that really sinks away from lefties.
Fouled away.
That's pretty good velocity for a sinker, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And early in the game, that same pitch was 91, 92. Last 2 fastballs have been 94 and 93, so he has picked up a mile or 2 per hour. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Lockhart.
He has an animated delivery, and sometimes when Hermanson makes mistakes, it's on that pitch. It's on the slider. By animated, I mean it gets a little quick, flies open a little, so he ends up getting no tilt on it, a little bit of a spiral, and if he doesn't locate it perfectly, like that.
Marrero will have to throw out Lockhart, and does. 3rd strikeout. And 12 in a row set down now by Dustin Hermanson. That'll bring up Tom Glavine, who's still looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 11. And for Tom Glavine, that's a slump.
Catchers have different ways of reminding you. Marrero saw that hanging slider, so he says, okay, let's try the slider again. But I want it down here. Trust me, I'll stop it.
2 men out. Here's Glavine. Foul away, 0-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. We've only had 6 hits in the game, 3 by each side. Good cut. Nothing in 2 on Glavine.
I think Dave Duckett is the kind of guy that can help a Dustin Hermanson. He's done it with a number of other pitchers who've gotten better coming to him. And I think one of his strengths, maybe not so much mechanical as it is philosophy, cutting down on the mistakes. And remembering Dustin Hermanson, it seems like he'll be going along, and then it's a mistake that costs him extra bases or the ball game, not just a single.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he's made some of those mistakes this year, too. He's given up a lot of home runs. 8 home runs allowed in his first 28 in the 3rd innings.
And it seems to come on his 2nd or 3rd pitch, and more often on his 3rd pitch.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Glavine.
Very uncomplicated delivery, but I think sometimes it's so simple, and he likes to really go that's what kind of throws him out of kilter. This is a sweet delivery.
Wow. He thought he had him there. 3-2. Watch his reaction.
Yep. That was close enough to get called a lot of times. Not that time.
So he winds up walking the pitcher and ending that string of 12 straight retired. We go back to the top of the order now. Rafael Furcal, who was singled and fly to center.
I wonder if many people remember that he was once traded for Kilby O'Veros. Dustin Hermanson, that is. From San Diego to the Florida Marlins. I bet not a lot of people remember that Kilby O'Veros played with the Florida Marlins.
In the air along the line in left. Long run for Langford. Let's see if he can get to it. He can in foul territory. And that is it. Nothing doing for Atlanta in the 5th inning. Still 1-0 as we head to the 6th.
Is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Top of the 6th, time for our Budweiser game summary. Both Glavine and Hermanson have been exceptional. Both have put together streaks of retiring hitters, but the Braves struck in the first, got 3 on, but only able to plate 1 and lead it 1-0. That's our Budweiser game summary.
And it's the heart of the order here in the 6th inning, beginning with Jim Edmonds, then Albert Pujols, then J.D. Drew. Edmonds has flied to left and struck out. Glavine goes to work on him. And that's up the middle, center field, base hit.
There were some times in the 70s, and I'm sure it's in the 60s, and I'm sure it's been said. A lot of ball clubs get you 1 in the first. There's your lead. Go get them.
Well, here's Albert Pujols, the most talked about rookie in the game this year. He's flied to center and walked. And he does have some sparkling numbers for the first month of his major league career. But there's one unsparkling number which Tom Glavine would like to take advantage of right now. He has already grounded into 10 double plays this season.
A third of the Cardinal total.
The league leader in the National League last year for the entire season was Moises Alou, grounding into 21. He's on a pace right now to ground into 62 double plays, which would be more than double the National League record.
I'm thinking that's not one place you'd want your name in the record book.
I would not think so. The National League record for double plays hit into in 1 year is 30.
Wasn't Joe Torre, was it?
That was Ernie Lombardi. Long time ago.
Another fleet-footed catcher.
But that's amazing. 10 double plays grounded into. It's only May 4th.
And to still be hitting 363.
Yeah.
And
well, all the other numbers are spectacular. A 13-game hitting streak to start the year, and now a 9-game hitting streak he's trying to extend here. Rarely strikes out. That's what really helped him make the ball club this spring. A lot of times a kid will go down to spring training and put together good numbers. But a lot of times those at-bats are coming late in games against minor league pitchers for the most part. But the thing that really opened the eyes of Tony La Russa, this kid didn't strike out. He put the ball in play against everybody. 3-1.
And I think one of the things that helped him, and a number of players have been helped by the Arizona Fall League. He was voted the most promising third baseman and had a good year out there. So that probably accelerated his growth a little bit and gave him a much longer look at him.
That was where he made the club, playing third, but with the Mark McGwire injury, he's getting a lot of time at first base now. Here's the 3-1. Full count. 21 years old. Just his second year of pro ball. Same kind of acceleration that Andrew Jones showed, getting from Class A to the major leagues in a year. See if Edmonds is going on the 3-2. He is, and the 3-2 pitch, a little roller toward third. Chipper Jones only play on to first. Edmonds advancing. Pujols retired. That'll bring up J.D. Drew, who has walked and grounded out to second. Now, so far tonight, the Cardinals, the team that has come up empty with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 4. Drew came up with runners second and third after a wild pitch in the third inning and grounded out to end the inning.
This meeting is probably about signs to be used with a runner at second. With a runner at second, you go to combination signs.
Well, remember when J.D. Drew was up before, that's when the wild pitch came, and that might have been on a miscommunication between Lopez and Glavine there.
Sure looked like it.
So they want to make sure they're on the same page here.
Combination of sign, and the best description I've ever heard of them, they want to be simple enough so the dumbest pitcher can get them, but complicated enough so the smartest base runner can't.
Pitch to J.D. Drew, line left center field, well hit. Surhoff on the run, can't get to it, over his head, one hopping the wall. Edmonds will trot home. It's an RBI double for J.D. Drew, and we're tied 1-1. 16th RBI of the year for Drew, who has 9 homers this year. That's only his second double.
And a good bit of hitting, but sometimes managers will throw left-handers against Tom Glavine. This ball didn't have much of the plate, but it was up where he could guide it out to left center field. If the ball had been down, chances are he wouldn't have hit it that far.
So the Cardinals are on the board. It's a 1-1 game, and now Edgar Renteria, who is singled and grounded out to short. 5 hits now for St. Louis.
I was reading in the St. Louis paper today that there was some talk of maybe sitting him down. Remember, their game was rained out last night down in Florida. There was some talk that he might have been on the pine for that one and possibly would sit out the night because of his offensive struggles.
Well, that base hit he had in the second ended an 0 for 11. He did not have a good swing his next time up. What they've been doing to him is just pitching him away, and he's trying to pull everything. Get in that kind of a habit, you're going to hit a lot of ground balls to short, just like he did in the 4th inning.
Oh, you become a pitcher's best friend.
Yeah.
But that was a good at bat he had in the second inning. Pitch out there that may not have been on the plate, but he just
went the other way.
Right down the line.
3-0 now to Renteria with Langford on deck. Takes a strike. Another walk. Third given up by Glavine. First and second with one out now for Ray Langford, who has struck out twice and now has 33 strikeouts in 76 at bats this year.
And he has just been completely mesmerized by Tom Glavine.
Never got the bat off his shoulder that first at bat.
And then come close to touching one his second at bat. So same result, 2 different at bats, 2 different philosophies at the at bat.
1 man out in a tie game.
A lot of times the defense will tell you what the pitcher's going to do, and just by checking the Braves defense, I think if you were Ray Langford, you could look and say, I am not going to get a pitch inside. Everybody shaded toward the left side, infield and outfield.
1-1. He hasn't had a good swing yet at Glavine tonight.
Well, it doesn't even look like he's looking where the ball is coming. That time he started to swing, but the bat wasn't anywhere near the ball. He doesn't do something that we heard Cliff Floyd talk about. To hit off the left-handers, you've got to keep the upper part closed, stay longer back toward the pitcher, and in your mind, make your mind up that you're going to take everything up the middle or to the left side. And he is really deep in the batter's box. See, the ball crossing the plate, there could be a strike. It could be 2 inches further outside where he's standing when he takes the bat to it.
2-1 now.
Now, see how far back he is? The ball only has to cross the front part of the plate, right? Just the edge there. As far back as he is, that ball's going to travel another 2 feet. So with any break at all, you could have another 2-3 inches movement on it.
Sometimes you see a hitter in a situation like that adjust during the game or even during an at-bat. Fly ball to left. Surhoff there for the catch. 2 men gone. But then there are those that, like Ray Langford, just stick with the same exact spot the entire game. And so far tonight, Langford is 0 for 3.
Well, let's take a look. See, here's the corner of the plate. And the ball from Glavine is going to be moving away from him, but he is so far back. See where he makes contact on it. See, he's making contact when the ball is way out here. He's so far back. He's not even, his stride does not take him anywhere near the front of the plate.
Here's Eli Marrero now. He's flied to right and grounded out to short. 2 outs in the inning, and this should end the inning. Little tap to Furcal, underhands it to Lockhart. And that'll be all for the Cardinals in the 6th, but they tie it up on a J.D. Drew RBI double, and we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Cast your vote for tonight's Decade Awards presented by Charbroil. Log on to AtlantaBraves.com or AOL keyword TBS. It's your chance to win Braves merchandise, a trip to the Braves on TBS Ultimate Barbecue Weekend, and be a part of Braves history. That'd be fun.
Now, those are tough choices to pick between those 3.
No kidding.
That's a tough choice. I don't know which one of those I would pick. Part of a big crowd here and a beautiful night at Turner Field. Let's see if the Braves offense can get something going here. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's 1-1. Braves only 3 hits. Cardinals only 5, and Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, B.J. Surhoff due up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew drove in the Braves run in the 1st inning with a single.
Yeah, you have to have really good pitching just to stay even with those numbers.
And Hermanson delivers and misses outside. All 3 of the hits that the Braves had over the first 5 innings came in the 1st inning. The only base runner since the 1st inning was that walk to Glavine an inning ago. Polanco and Renteria over in foul territory, and Renteria almost got to it. One ball, one strike.
Braves may have gotten some help from one of their faithful. Guy has a glove, reaches out, didn't make it. That hit off. See if that hits off Renteria's glove.
I think it did.
It hit the guy and then hit his glove.
When you reach into the crowd, it's fair game.
Fair game. That's right.
Can't get any help from the umpire there. A little tap to third, but foul, and the count 1-2. Now, if a fan reaches over onto the field of play, even though it's in foul territory, that's a different story.
I thought that was pretty gutsy of the fan wanting to give Renteria a high five after knocking the ball away from him. Well, that's a pretty gutsy move.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shallow left field. Renteria back for this one. Langford coming on, and Langford calls him off at the last moment. 1 gone.
Not every out is on a good pitch. That's a hanging slider, but sometimes a slider will start to spin and then back up. Now, I think if you're a right-handed hitter, you're conditioned to see slider and think it's going to go away from you. That one is called a backup slider. So instead of going away from Andrew Jones, where his swing would have put it on the fat part of the bat, it comes in on the handles. That's how he got jammed on it.
Now Chipper Jones, who was struck out and grounded out to second. Hermanson is rolling along since that first inning. Ball 1 to Chipper.
I've heard pitchers say, get outs on that, say that they wish they could throw a backup slider anytime they wanted to. Because it is a hanger, but hitters get so keyed into going out away from them for it. It's almost like a sinker.
2-0. Three balls, no strikes, and Chipper Jones. 1-1. Cardinals with 5 hits, Braves with 3. No errors in the game. Another low-scoring duel.
Struggling for runs now. I'd be willing to bet you if he gets one in the strike zone, he's got the green light.
He did, and he hits a little tap to first. That's fielded by Pujols, and there are 2 down.
Got a strike, but not a power strike. You know, you try things when you're struggling. You try to do something a little different. Maybe start somebody for call off and running in the first inning, and you give the green light to some guys that you know can get you a run back with one swing, just in case you get one in the happy zone.
2 outs, and B.J. Surhoff, the batter, is fly to right and lined out to second. This has really been agonizing for Braves fans to watch. It's about as deep an offensive slump as this club has been in years, especially in front of the home folks, where the high output for a game this year at Turner Field remains 4 runs, and the total output now for the 13 games counting tonight is only 28 runs. In the air, left center field. That ball's well hit. Edmonds on the run. Langford on the run. That ball's off the wall. Surhoff on his way to second. And he's aboard with a 2-out double, the first hit for Atlanta since the first inning. And for Surhoff, his 4th double of the year. Maybe BJ's bat starting to come around a little bit.
Well, he's starting to drive the ball toward left and left center. Pretty good pitch. Up and away from him. Almost identical to pitch that J.D. Drew hit off of Tom Glavine. About belt high out in third of the plate.
Now here's an interesting meeting. You've got Brian Jordan, a right-handed batter, coming up, and he's been the Braves' hottest hitter. And then you've got a left-handed batter in the on-deck circle behind Jordan, Rico Brogna, and he's been in one of the Braves' longest slumps.
I would still take the shot at Jordan, and I'll tell you why. Because he is only 4 for 22 against Dustin Hermanson.
Tonight he has doubled and lined out to center.
I still think that if I were Dave Duncan, I'd say go right at this guy, make good pitches on him, and try to get him out.
Well, we'll see what they've decided.
You have a margin of error here. You make all good pitches. You try to make perfect pitches. Then if you don't do it, you still have the luxury of having first base open, and you can take your shot. But you go hard at him on the hands.
Missed in there, ball 1. 2 men out. B.J. Surhoff down at second base.
The ball that he doubled on was a slider down on the inner half of the plate. So Hermanson has thrown him 2 pitches that he's hit that haven't been where he wanted it.
Stays in there. It's 2-0.
He'll take one more shot in there, I'll bet you, and then put him on. If he doesn't get a striker out. Here's where, on the other hand, Brian Jordan's got to be patient. You got to think with the pitcher. Okay, he's going to try to come in on me. He's going to try to get me to chase out of the strike zone. And he is being patient.
3 balls, no strikes.
Put him on. Yeah. He may be swinging. Same thing. Hermanson, you got to make a good pitch. If you're Jordan, you got to be patient.
Got the strike in the inside corner. 3-1.
3-0 slider. I think his chance of making a mistake to Brian Jordan are greater with his slider than they would be with his fastball. Good pitch, good eye.
So they're at first and second now. 2 outs. That's the second walk issued by Dustin Hermanson. And it will bring up Rico Brogna, who twice tonight has fly to center. Just 1 for 12 on this homestand, just 1 for his last 16, so he is due to break out of it.
Well, he can get a pitch to handle. Where he has been having trouble, his fastball's up, and Hermanson's best fastball is the one that's been down.
1 ball, no strikes to Rico Brogna.
Remember what we talked about earlier, that it seemed like when Hermanson struggles against ball clubs, it's because he gets hurt on his second or third pitch. He started Brogna with a slider that was up. It just happened to be so far away that Brogna couldn't handle it.
Here's the 1-0. Here's a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hasn't thrown many changeups tonight.
Well, that was a hanging slider too. This is a breaking ball. It's a high strike call, and it's one of the high strikes that Greg Maddux and Leo Mazzoni and a lot of guys have talked about that is a mistake.
Well, now let's see what the problem could possibly be here with Dustin Hermanson.
Checking his foot.
Barry Weinberg, who's the trainer, and Tony La Russa.
Barry Weinberg, who was with the Oakland A's before Tony La Russa went there. And
it's like they're massaging the calf.
Is it a calf or the knee? Oh, it is the calf.
Might have cramped up on him a little.
That's the drive leg. And let's see if the last pitch we can see it. See how he collapses and drives on it and then lands awkwardly. Oh, his right foot is bent almost like he can't straighten it. It would hurt to land on your front leg and have a cramp in it, but on the back leg you could do more damage with the pitch, because if you put all your weight on your back leg and you collapse it all and you throw the pitch, you have no idea where it's going to go. He's still not comfortable.
La Russa wants to make sure this is a tight ball game. Doesn't want to risk, number one, losing his pitcher for any lengthy period of time, because Hermanson's a key man in this rotation for the Cardinals.
Now, we were just told Skip Gary came over from radio and said that they had either been told or somebody had noticed that the first time he showed like it had bothered him was on Chipper's ground ball to first, when he broke off the mound over toward first. Al Clark reminding the dugout, the Braves dugout, that does not count as a trip to the mound, because they're discussing his health. If they had said one word about pitching strategy, though.
That's why the umpire stays out there.
That's exactly right. He monitors the conversation.
Well, we'll see how things turn out here. First and second with 2 outs.
That could be very important, because he was having trouble locating his slider. And that comes off,
strike on Brogna.
Comes off the drive leg.
Now he's ahead in the count, 1-2.
His chances of making a mistake when he's not 100% on the back leg are better on the breaking ball than they are on the fastball. Fastball has got enough velocity and movement, he can compensate. But the breaking ball, if he drops down and collapses and throws it, it's just going to be a frisbee.
Up the middle, Renteria behind the bag on the first to get Brogna. Nice play by Renteria to take a potential base hit and a potential run away from Atlanta. We head to the 7th inning, still tied.
Braves baseball on the Superstation, brought to you by Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger. Cheddar makes it better. And by Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Larry Smith back at the CNN Sports Illustrated Studios in Atlanta. At the vet, Bruce Chen, the former Braves left-hander. What a gem for the Phillies. A no-hitter through 5. He gets Barry Bonds there, but Bonds comes back and helps take the wheels off. 2-run home run after Sean Dunston broke up the no-hitter. Giants lead now in the 8th.
And it looks like this will be the end of the night for Dustin Hermanson. Craig Paquette up to pinch hit. That leg cramp. Trainers worked on it.
Just couldn't get it out.
Just couldn't get it to feel much better. So Hermanson's night is through after 6 effective innings. And the handyman Craig Paquette, 256, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, pinch hitting, 1-0 pitch is popped up. Right center field, not very deep. Jordan's there, 1 gone. Stick Schulte in the bullpen for the Cardinals. He's been part of a pretty effective bullpen for them. ERA at 2.70 in his first 11 games. He also had a pinch hit home run, his first major league at bat. How about that? On the first pitch that he ever saw.
On that.
First pitch that he ever saw as a hitter in the major leagues, he homered. He has a slugging percentage right now of 4,000. Here's Vino for 3.
And probably if they have a kangaroo court, that cost them too for showboating, for showing up the power hitters on the plate.
1 ball, no strikes, and Vini's popped to second, fly to right, line to short. Just off the corner, 2-0.
I wonder how many clubs still have kangaroo courts. Sometimes they could get kind of sensitive and they're done away with. They defeat the purpose.
They're fun.
Yeah. You've been hauled before one, right?
Oh, yeah.
So have I.
2-1 the count.
And you weren't even a player. How'd that happen?
Long story. Well, it's not such a long story. A very nice story. You know, when you're walking up the steps from the dugout to the clubhouse in a visiting ballpark, and a player chewing tobacco doesn't know you're there, leans over an upper railing and lets loose, and it hits you right in the top of the head. And the player who's alongside that other player says, "You've got a claim in kangaroo court." So I went in there with what I thought was a good case. I got fined for not wearing a hat.
Good play by Chipper Jones. Swing and bunt. I don't think you could lay down a bunt any better. Bare hand pickup. Throws on the run, but Vina, who can fly and coming out of the left-hander's batter's box, just barely makes it. You can't make that play any better. Did you notice how Vina did, though? He is one of those guys. You see a lot of guys that last long step jump. You actually lose time. You're better off running through.
He's got to run right through it, yeah.
And that's what he did. So he doesn't jump. Boom. Leaned forward and goes like a sprinter.
He has 4 steals in 5 tries. And Placido Polanco, the hitter, he's 2 for 3. Six hits now for the Cardinals. We're in the top half of the 7th inning in a 1-1 game. Just off the corner, 1 ball, no strikes.
Good base stealer and a good base runner.
Again to first. One thing we've noticed a lot this year with clubs, stolen bases percentages are not very good this year. The Cardinals coming into this game with 12 stolen bases, but 14 caught stealings. Braves coming into this game with 8 stolen bases, 6 caught stealings. Picked up number 9 when Rafael Furcal swiped a base in the first inning, but from the clubs the Braves have played so far this year, not a lot of clubs are stealing a lot of bases.
Do you think with all the offense that came on the last couple of years, there's less emphasis on it? Maybe they don't work as much on it?
Could have been a little bit of a slack off of attention paid to that part of the game with all the home runs being hit the last couple of years. Stolen base maybe didn't come into play as much. In fact, for a long time, the word was that there were two styles of ball, American League ball and National League ball. And the National League game was the speed game, and the American League game was the power game. Well, right now, coming into today's games, more stolen bases by American League teams than National League teams. 253 steals in the American League, 241 in the National League. And you know what team has the most stolen bases? It surprises me. I would never have thought this. New York Yankees.
No, I wouldn't have.
Lead the majors in steals, 38 stolen bases.
When you said you never would have thought that, I thought you were going to go someplace like Minnesota or Texas. Maybe even Seattle. Seattle's got a couple guys over there, though, who can run.
Two and two on Polanco. Up the middle, that's going to drop for a base hit. Pena will have to stop at second, and now the St. Louis Cardinals have a potential go-ahead run down in scoring position in the heart of their order coming up.
That's about as far as you will see Tom Glavine miss with his changeup. He misses more often with his fastball than he does his changeup. It's almost like a zone that he turns it loose. It goes down and away. That's one that just hung right back out over the plate.
So 2 hits in the inning, 7 in the game now for the Cardinals, and here's Edmonds, who is flying to left, struck out and single. You saw that number on Polanco, how well he's hit lefties. Well, Edmonds, for a left-hand hitter, has hit him pretty well this year as well. Over 400. He's 12 out of 29 against left-handed pitching. Takes ball 1.
Edmonds stays close, doesn't bail. Maybe a little activity starting.
Only 1 out in the inning. Big cut, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's the Braves bullpen swinging into action. Mike Remlinger and Jose Cabrera will begin to throw. In case you didn't hear the news today, the pitching staff reduced by 1. Gary Leitenberg optioned to Richmond today, and outfielder Bernard Gilkey acquired from the Richmond club and brought up. So the Braves now with an 11-man staff and 1 extra bat on the bench. And Gilkey arriving at about 6:30 this evening. After the Braves picked him up as a minor league free agent after he was let go by the Cardinals. Two and 1 now in Edmonds.
And for Gary Leitenberg, a chance to get down there and to work on some things and probably pitch a couple nights in a row and every other night and just pile up some innings. Get back where they're comfortable. He's been in and out of being comfortable this year.
Now a 3-1 pitch to Jim Edmonds on the way. And he loses him. And the bases are loaded now for Albert Pujols. Well, now if you're a Braves fan, would be an ideal time for one of those Pujols double plays, of which he's hit into 10 this year. Here comes Leo Mazzoni. That's the 4th walk given up by Glavine, the league leader in walks. Doesn't that sound strange?
Yes. But he's not going to give in. That's his style of pitching. He's going to stay out there. And what happens more often than not for him is that hitters make the adjustment and go out and get the ball. but he is not the kind of pitcher that can just reach back and fog it in the middle of the strike zone and say, okay, guys, I'll take my chances. He has to make quality pitches in the neighborhood or quality pitches within the strike zone.
He's walking an average of about 5 hitters per 9 innings this year, which is way above his norm. Most he's ever walked in 1 year was 90. That was back in 1993. But he's usually averaged in the 2 to 3 per 9 inning range. This year averaging about 5 per 9 innings.
You get the feeling, though, watching him, you know, trips to the mound are necessary by a catcher and sometimes by a pitching coach, but you get the feeling of watching Tom Glavine that it's about the same sensation as a root canal.
Yeah, I don't think he appreciates
even when you know it's
meetings.
right. No, he doesn't enjoy them.
Well, here's Pujols, 0 for 2 with a walk, and he takes a strike in the outside corner. He's fly to center, he's walked, he's grounded to third. But the big number that the Braves are trying to induce here, he's grounded into 10 double plays already this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. I tell you one thing, that for a young hitter, he is not impatient at all. He goes up there and very selective on the pitches he has swung at against Glavine. Worked him for a walk in the 3rd inning, worked the count to 3-2 in the 6th inning. First time he saw him, he worked the count to 3-1. Here's the 1-1 in the air, deep enough to get the run in. Andrew Jones back under it. Vina tagging at 3rd. He will score. Tagging at 2nd is Polanco. He'll move on over to 3rd. And the Cardinals take a 2-1 lead as the rookie Albert Pujols drives in his 28th run of the year. 2-1 Cardinals.
Got it in on his hands, but he is still so strong that he hit that ball to the warning track. He won it in. No, it tailed back just a little bit. Just from watching up here, it looked like that ball was in on his hands a little bit more.
So the Cardinals have taken the lead now, and J.D. Drew, the batter, he's walked, grounded out to 2nd, and doubled.
With all those RBIs and Pujols being, it looks like a fly ball hitter, surprisingly, that's his first sacrifice fly. Getting a few tips from Bobby Bonilla, talking about the at-bat.
That's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's almost like having a second hitting coach, isn't it, when you've got a Bobby Bonilla on the bench?
There's Mike Easler,
the hitman,
who is their hitting coach.
Bobby Bonilla pitched an inning this year in a blowout game. I would have loved to have seen that. Gave up 2 runs in the inning that he worked.
I wonder if he iced his arm.
Here's the 1-1. That just missed. 2-1. Well, the Braves are facing pretty much the same old story here. Lack of offense. Glavine's pitched a good game. He's only given up 2 runs. We're in the 7th inning, but the Braves are down by 1. Surely this can't last much longer, can it? There's your runner at 3rd, Polanco, and Edmonds over at 1st. 3-1.
It almost appears that the left-handed hitters are more patient with those close pitches than the right-handers are. The right-handers seem to dive out and get them a little bit more than the left-handers, with the exception of Langford. It's a big pitch.
2 men out. Another walk. They're loaded again. 5th walk issued by Glavine. And Renteria will be the hitter. And even though Renteria has been in a slump, only 1 hit in his last 13 at-bats, and that was a single in the 2nd inning. He's dangerous in a spot like this because he's a very hard guy to pitch to. He really has no strike zone. He's liable to take a pitch right down the middle, and he's liable to take a pitch a foot off the plate and slap it into right field.
And he's a good off-speed hitter if you throw it in the strike zone.
0-1.
You can't walk this many guys if you are a pitcher who challenges hitters. But if you are a pitcher who, in as Tom Glavine's own words, is stubborn enough to stay with your way and not give in, then you can get away with more walks, because what you trust is the hitter is going to take your pitch and get it out on it.
There's that little flare in the right field. Base hit for Renteria. Polanco scores. Edmonds around third. He's home. It's a 2-run single for Edgar Renteria, who did just what we were telling you about. Took a pitch off the plate and down and slapped it the other way and drives home his 7th and 8th runs of the year to make it 4-1.
I'll bet you when we watch the replay, it is not a strike. Tom Glavine stayed with his plan. Go down and away. That's off the plate. That's not a strike. But that's the same swing that Renteria took in the 2nd inning. Watch him go out off the plate and get this. Javi Lopez is reaching toward the left-handed batter's box to try to get that.
Well, that's going to do it for Tom Glavine. Bobby Cox on his way to the mound, and Renteria has driven Glavine out of there as Bobby Cox makes the singular call to the bullpen. Several occasions up at that ballpark.
Yes.
For some reason, it's a very, very difficult call for the umpires because of that roof, I guess.
And the darkness back behind it is just a bad.
That's where they had to. That's where they had to paint that line, extend the foul line up onto the actual roof itself, because of some home runs that Dave Kingman and Darryl Strawberry hit at various times in their career at Olympic Stadium. Well, here's Mike Remlinger trying to get the Braves out of further damage here in the 7th inning. It's now a 4-1 game. Cardinals on top. Remlinger making appearance number 14. The rest of his numbers. He'll be facing Ray Langford, who had no luck against Glavine. 2 strikeouts and a fly to left. Glavine 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs charged to him. The runners at first and third are his. He walked 5. He struck out 4. And you know, if your team is going good offensively, you can look at a 3-run deficit in the 7th inning and feel confident you can come back. But when your team is struggling, especially as much as the Braves are right now, that 3 runs looks like 10. Braves have not had a come-from-behind victory after the 7th inning all year. 1 pitch for Remlinger ends the inning as Langford flies out. But a sac fly by Albert Pujols and a 2-run single by Edgar Renteria give the Cardinals a 4-1 lead.
The Atlanta Braves for your official Braves merchandise. And remember, the only way that you can purchase merchandise directly from the Atlanta Braves is the Braves Clubhouse Collection catalog, or by visiting the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center. Except no imitation. Call 800-433-BRAVES for your catalog today.
And changes as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning with the Cardinals now on top. Craig Paquette, who pinch hit for Hermanson, stays in the game in left field. The new pitcher, right-hander Gene Steck-Schulte. He is making his 12th appearance. 0-1 with a save and a .270 earned run average. Opposing hitters hitting just .217 against the big right-hander from Lima, Ohio. Been a relief pitcher his entire career since he was signed as a non-drafted free agent out of Ashland University in Ohio. Made his major league debut with the Cardinals last year, got into 20 games.
But give me some base runners. He's walked 8 guys in his limited number of innings worked.
Javi Lopez 0 for 2. He's popped to second, grounded to third, sawed off in the first pitch. Polanco throws him out. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now Keith Lockhart. Hermanson, 6 innings of work, 4 hits allowed, 1 run. He walked a couple, struck out 3. And that cramp in his calf forced him out of the game maybe an inning or so earlier than he normally would have left. But now it's the uphill battle for the Braves offense again. Ball 1 to Lockhart. He's fouled out and struck out. We're going to get a quick look, aren't we, at Bernard Gilkey?
Yes.
That's down the right field line, but foul.
Cut out in front of it a little bit. Stekshulke likes to run the ball away from left-handers. He throws a heavy sinking fastball.
We told you he hit a home run as a pinch hitter earlier this year. He was a shortstop throughout his high school career. His college coach converted him to pitching. So he does know a little bit about hitting. So does Keith Lockhart. There's a base hit the other way. Hit number 5 for Atlanta. And now Gilkey is called back, and Dave Martinez will come out. So it'll be Martinez batting for Remlinger. Martinez is 2 out of 11 as a pinch hitter. He's batting .294 overall for the year with no homers and 1 RBI. Four runs, 8 hits for the Cardinals, a run, 5 hits for Atlanta. Tomorrow night, Odalis Perez against Rick Ankiel. Then a Sunday afternoon matchup, Kevin Millwood against Darryl Kyle. And the Braves are back on the road Tuesday. Greg Maddux will open that series in San Diego.
Dave Martinez likes to hit the ball between the hole, short and third base. Stekshulke has the kind of stuff that runs out away from him. If he doesn't get it down, that's right exactly the pitch Martinez guides over there.
Runner at first, 1 out.
Changeup and almost a balk. Looks like that to maybe disguise his changeup, he tries to go with a little quicker motion, but not sure there was a discernible pause when he came set. I believe that's the term in the rule book.
He's thrown him a couple of good changeups. It's 1 and 2. Stekshulke, 27 years old. He's been groomed for this job. He's been a relief pitcher his entire career. Led the Midwest League with 33 saves in 1998. Had 26 saves at Memphis last year before he was called up. Ahead in the count here, a ball and 2 strikes on Martinez. There's a base hit into right field. Lockhart will have to stop at second. The Braves trying to get something going here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Runners at first and second. First time they've had 2 hits in an inning since the first.
Russo's thinking, what was that pitch? He had ugly swings and stuff going down and away from him. And now they want to trick him with something coming in on him, a hanging slider, belt high. Martinez's swings have been nowhere near the off-speed pitches going the other way.
Now Rafael Furcal, who singled in the first inning, has flied to center and fouled out to the left fielder since then. Stole a base, scored a run in the first. And right now, it's the only run the Atlanta Braves have managed tonight. First and second, 1 out. For call. More bullpen activity. Mike Timlin about to start loosening up for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. Gets away from Marrero. Runners now at second and third.
Let's see if he tries to slide over and spread out in front of this. He did. Tried to do all the things, but that's one of those where the worst thing that happened to him, it hit him in the glove. If it hits him in the chest protector, that doesn't happen. He just dropped the glove down to try to plug the hole. That's going to go as a wild pitch.
So now base hit could mean a couple of runs here. 1 ball, 1 strike on for call. Polanco in on the grass at third. And Steck Schulte ready for the 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball to second. Vina was thinking about coming home, but goes to first in time. They get the sure out. Percal gets the run in, or gets a run in. His 13th RBI of the year makes it 4-2, and now will bring up Andrew Jones with a runner at third.
Let's see where the runner is when he gets the ball. He is back a long way, and he's thinking about it. But he got some encouragement from Eli Marrero. Take the out. Marrero had his hands up and was pointing toward first.
4-2 now. And here's Andrew and Dave Duncan trotting out to the mound. Let's see what they do here. Andrew Jones is single, struck out, and fly to left. One thing that the St. Louis Cardinals do almost every year is lead the league in meetings. They will have a lot of conferences in the dugout, out on the mound. This looks just like a refresher course of how they want to pitch Andrew Jones. And Al Clark is going to speed things up.
I knew you were going to leave when I got here, but I got to come out anyway.
Well, here's Andrew. See if Andrew can deliver a 2-out hit here. Runner at third with 2 outs. Andrew a single, an RBI in the first, a strikeout in the third, a fly to left in the sixth. Big crowd tonight, 40,981. They'd like to see the Braves come from behind. The pitch to Andrew. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike to Andrew Jones. Good stop there by Marrero, 2-1. Boy, they've given Andrew a lot of hitting room on the right side of the infield.
Sure have. They're not expecting him to try to reach out and hit it there. They're expecting him to try to tie it up. So they're playing him to pull and pitching him away.
Here's the 2-1.
Where'd that come from? A little drop down action.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't remember having seen this from Steck Schulte before. Do you?
No, I don't, and I guess the hitter's not familiar with that look. Going to be caught by surprise on occasion, too. Back over the top, and he misses down low, and it's 3-2 now to Andrew Jones. Put something else in the hitter's mind, though, doesn't it, when they see that delivery? Chipper waiting on deck.
He's seen it once now with the fastball, so if he drops down again, normally you would think fastball, and he could throw a slider.
Still 3-2. Bouncing ball to third. Polanco across to first. And Steck Schulte gets out of it with no further damage. The Braves get one of the runs back, but that's it. 4-2 now as we head to the 8th.
Top of the 8th. Let's take a look at the Delta scoreboard. Dodgers got shut out by the Cubs. Cubs got pitching. Padres got runs. Milwaukee drops 1 to the Florida Marlins. Houston is leading Montreal. 3 home runs in that game for Houston. Giants made a comeback on the Phillies. Colorado over Pittsburgh by 6. 2 4-run innings for them. Good pitching duel. Reynoso, Batista, and Springer for Arizona. Reed and Franco for the Mets. Over in the American League, a lot of runs scored, but 2 shutouts being authored right now by Minnesota and by the White Sox. Keep up with them as we roll across there on the screen, and also log on to MLB.com for the most complete coverage of baseball on the internet.
Jose Cabrera, the new pitcher for Atlanta, making his 6th appearance. No record, a 180 earned run average. And Eli Marrero, the hitter, with a count of 0-1. Remlinger faced one hitter and got him out on 1 pitch. Broken bat pop, left side. A call for the out, one gone. That'll bring up Craig Paquette, who stayed in the game in left field after pinch hitting for Hermanson. Career really got a fresh start a couple of years ago. He was playing on Team USA in the Pan Am Games after opening the season for the Mets AAA affiliate. And after the Pan Am Games were over, the Cardinals acquired him and brought him up. He hit 287 with 10 homers in the last 48 games of the year.
This club is a good fit for him. He can play a number of positions. Yep. And Tony La Russa never lets anybody get stagnant. So it's not like he's going to sit for a week, and I just think he meshed well with this ball club. Just like I think Bobby Bonilla is a great addition for this ball club. Bonilla can fill in a number of spots, knows a lot about hitting, and learned patience coming off the bench last year.
One man gone, the count 2-2 now, and Craig Paquette. 15 home runs last year, 61 RBI, got into 134 games.
How many at-bats?
He had 384 at-bats last year. Played some third, played some first, played some outfield. 3-2 now.
And I think it takes a special personality to blend in and to know you're going to be a part-time player. Nobody likes the term utility man. I don't even think they use it anymore, and I'm glad. But to be a role player, it takes a special personality to do it.
Up the middle for Calder, who's left. 2 gone. We'll go back to the top of the order now, and Fernando Vina. Vina is 1 for 4. Singled and scored in the 7th inning.
Remember when he was with Milwaukee, there were times that rumors popped up that he was a guy that John Sherholtz would have liked to have added to this ball club. There
were a lot of clubs interested in acquiring Vina.
Well, he's a leadoff man. He's a gamer. He's hard-nosed. His on-base percentage is good. And he plays good second base.
That'll be out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. They got him from Milwaukee for pitcher Juan Acevedo and a couple of minor leaguers, so that turned out to be a very good trade for the Cardinals.
The minor leaguers weren't named for almost a year.
Yeah. One. 2 balls and a strike. 4-2, Cardinals leading it. Braves had a 1-0 lead over the first 5 innings. Cardinals tied it in the 6th on a J.D. Drew double. Added 3 runs in the 7th. Edgar Renteria's 2-run single, the big blow there. See if it stays in play. It won't. It'll be back about 15 rows. 2-2. But the part of this game that has got everybody scratching their heads about the Atlanta Braves start this year is this offense. This is the 13th home game of the year, and And the Braves have yet to score more than 4 runs in a game. They only have 2 tonight.
And when you look at the people in the lineup, you think that they're going to accidentally score more than that.
There have been some breakouts on the road. 10 runs on opening day, a 9-run game in Arizona. But nothing at home, and that's usually where you do most of the damage. In the air to right center field, not very deep. Easy play for Andrew, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cabrera. So he does his job. He holds the Cardinals in the top half of the 8th inning. Now the Braves will try it again in the bottom half.
Coming up next on TBS, a hot dog Navy pilot strives to be the best in his program while romancing a beautiful civilian trainer on the side. On Dinner and Movie a little later, Paul and Annabelle would be cooking up Pentagon pork barrel Pozzoli. I thought he was a wrestler. Tom Cruise and Kelly McGinnis star in Top Gun. That's next, only on the Superstation.
And you see the changes. There's Kerry Robinson, who's taken over in left field. The new pitcher, right-hander Dave Veers. On this Cardinal staff, no one individual in that bullpen is the closer. They've got a 4-man committee out there. Steve Klein has saved a couple of games. Steck Schulte has saved 1. Mike Timlin has saved 1. And Veers has saved 2. And it'll be Veers facing Chipper Jones, B.J. Surhoff, and Brian Jordan, with the Braves down 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Chipper Jones has struck out, grounded out to second, and grounded out to first. And on the homestand, he's just 1 for 13 now after a red-hot road trip where he hit over 500. Chipper Jones. Steck Schulte worked an inning, allowed a couple of hits, a run, no walks or strikeouts. Charged with a wild pitch. One and one.
Veers gives you a little bit of a herky-jerky motion and short arms the ball. You don't get a long look out of it coming out of his hand. There's a high breaking ball that's called for a strike more often than the high fastball.
Veers ahead in the count, 1-2. Off the end of the bat, Polanco. Down to first. Chipper has not had many good swings tonight. 1 out. That'll bring up B.J. Surhoff. Surhoff a double his last time up. In the air to straightaway center. Edmonds is there. 2 men gone.
Got him a little off stride with the change of speeds.
Brian Jordan. Boy, that's unbelievable. That you would go so long without having just one game where the offense would erupt.
One laugher.
Yeah. Like I say, it's happened a couple of times on the road, but not once at home yet. No more than 4 runs in any one game. Brian Jordan tonight has doubled, fly to center, walked. Sharply hit, but they had the hole plug. Renteria is playing way over in the hole and throws out Brian Jordan. Veers winds up with a 1-2-3 8th inning. So we head to the 9th with the Cardinals on top, 4-2.
Back at the CNN Sports Illustrated Studios in Atlanta, Shea Stadium, 8th inning. Jay Payton, a little insurance home runs. Solo shot. Rick Reed went 8 innings strong to get his 4th win on the season. Mets double up Arizona 4-2. Let's go back to Pete and Don.
So everybody kind of bunched together behind Philadelphia in the East. With that win, the Mets are 4 games under. With the win for Florida tonight, they are now 3 games under. Montreal lost, they're 5 games under. And the Braves right now 3 games under, depending on what happens here. And you saw the changes before the Braves as we go to the 9th inning with Bernard Gilkey checking into the lineup in right field and John Rocker coming on to pitch. This is one of the situations that you don't like when you're not hitting. The only game the Braves have won so far in this homestand was a complete game shutout by Greg Maddux, so you're forced to use Rocker in a game where you're behind. Not really the spot that you want to use him. He's supposed to be the guy you bring in to protect the 9th inning lead.
But he hasn't pitched since Arizona, has he?
You've got to get him work.
Got to get him work.
Cabrera worked a 1-2-3 8th inning. Now Rocker goes to work on Polanco to start the 9th. Polanco 3 hits tonight. All singles. He has scored a run. And he might have a 4th. No, Rafael Furcal diving stop to take a base hit away from Placido Polanco. 1 out in the 9th inning.
Well, one thing about this ball club, they might be struggling offensively, but nobody is backing down defensively. Jam shot, inside out, good quick break by Furcal, and he sacrificed a little skin to make that catch. Good play.
1 out in the 9th inning, and that'll bring up Jim Edmonds. And it's fly to left, struck out, single and walk. He has scored a couple of runs. Rocker's 11th appearance, 2-0 with 6 saves. One ball, no strikes. Ball, 1-1. Due up in the bottom half of the 9th for Atlanta, Rico Brogna, Javi Lopez, Keith Lockhart. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Edmonds.
John Rocker worked with a trainer this winter and got on a program, Pete, that he was telling me the other day that the difference in it, it's not so much that he's stronger, but he said, I just don't get sore anymore. He said, the weight program that I'm on, and I feel like I recover quicker, and I just don't get sore. For a relief pitcher, how good is that?
Well, that's what they always talk about, that bounce back factor. One of the things that really qualifies a pitcher to pitch out of the bullpen, if he's able to pitch an inning or 2 and then come right back the next night, pitch 2 out of 3 nights. Can you do it? Can you go 3 nights in a row?
Effectively.
Yeah. The 1-2.
Take a look at the swing and let's see if Edmonds hurts one, right or left hand. Look like the left hand just came off the bat. In this angle. He just turned it loose. His left hand just came off the bat. Looks like he's still having trouble gripping the bat with it.
Another 1-2 pitch due. Play again.
Or was he trying to sell John Rocker on trying to sneak
He's still shaking that hand.
It was a funny swing. It looked like he had started the swing and then all of a sudden, almost like he got a cramp or a nerve, a shot in the nerves on his left hand.
Still one more. 1-2 pitch to Edmonds. Now Clark got nailed with that one.
Yeah, that came up and in and just ticked off of Javi Lopez's mitt, and let's see if it caught him on the end of the thumb. See, he leans in, out of the way, off the shoulder pad, and right on the outside of the right thumb of Al Clark.
You can wear all the mask and the chest protector and the shin guards and everything else back there, but if you're going to work as an umpire in professional baseball, you are going to get nicked a few times back there. You just don't have time to react.
We will not be Little Jack Horner today.
2-2.
Don't let him see you laughing.
Just missed.
Good pitch. That's the one.
2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the one John Rocker wanted him to fish for. That's a good spot for a 2-strike breaking ball. It starts out in the strike zone, breaks just below the strike zone. That will get most left-handers.
Here's the 3-2, and he lost him. Ball 4. That's walk number 6 given up by Braves pitching tonight. The first by Rocker. And it'll bring up Albert Pujols, who has flied to center, walked, grounded out to third, and drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. They created a new award in Major League Baseball this year, Rookie of the Month. There's been Player of the Month and Pitcher of the Month for years. Now there's a Rookie of the Month award, and Pujols is the first ever National Leaguer to win that award. Whoa. Bad pickoff throw. Into the seats beyond Rico Bronya. Down to second goes Edmonds.
And that was a throw over the first call by Javi Lopez. Some guys just aren't comfortable doing some things. Throwing to first. Walking a guy intentionally. You know, it really looked like John Rocker said, I'm just going to make a casual toss over there. And probably his best control throwing to first or throwing to the plate is when he's going flat out, not trying to back down.
So charge the error to Rocker. Now they're going to go ahead and put Pujols on.
And knowing John Rocker as we do, I'll bet you he wanted a shot at going mano a mano against Pujols.
Well, he'll get that chance eventually.
Could come as soon as tomorrow, couldn't it?
Sure could. Second walk issued by Rocker. First and second now with one out for J.D. Drew, who's walked twice, grounded out to second, and doubled his double drove in a run in the 6th inning. Got the Cardinals on the scoreboard after Glavine had shut them out over the first 5.
Even if you're struggling for runs, 2 is not out of reach. So it's really important that John Rocker save these 2.
Good fastball, 0-1. Georgia natives going at one another here. One ball, one strike on J.D. Drew. Now the 1-1. 1-2.
guys are not, there's not that much difference in their age. John Rocker born in late 74, Drew in 75. I wonder if they locked horns in amateur ball at all.
They very well may have. Here's the 1-2. Line to right field. Gilkey coming over. Is there for the catch. Tagging at second is Edmonds. He'll move over to third. And they're at the corners now with 2 outs. Or the guy that really is the offensive hero for the Cardinals right now, Edgar Renteria. 2 hits in the game and 3 official at bats, but the second one was a 2-run single in the 7th inning. That's the difference in this game right now.
He has more at bats against John Rocker than anybody else in the Cardinal roster, and all of them unsuccessfully. 0 for 5.
First and third, 2 outs. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. Nothing in 1 on Renteria. 97 miles an hour on that fastball. Nothing in 2.
I believe Renteria is a better breaking ball hitter than he is a fastball hitter. So if John Rocker wants to finish him off with either the slider or the curveball, it needs to be one of those that he bounces and gets him to fish for. Normally, if a guy is tardy on your fastball, that means the bat is going to be further out there on a breaking ball. Going back with the fastball.
Foul away.
See where the bat is on that fastball? Now, if you throw a strike with an off-speed pitch, the bat is going to travel a little bit further because the ball is getting there later before he makes contact. So it speeds his bat up, in effect, when you throw an off-speed strike. Bouncing.
Out of play again. Still nothing in 2 on Edgar Renteria. Pujols off first, Edmonds off third. In the air to straightaway center. Andrew Jones is there. And Rocker gets through the 9th inning without any more damage being done. A couple of runners left to go to the bottom half of the 9th. Let's see if the Braves have their first come from behind finish in them tonight. Well, we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Braves have not come from behind to win a game after they've been trailing after 7 all season long. And sometimes that's all it takes to jumpstart a team, is a win like that. So we'll see if Atlanta has any kind of a finish left in the night. Dave Veer is still out there for his 2nd inning.
The other side of that coin, the Cardinals have led 14 times after the 8th inning and have won 12 of them.
Yeah, they did let a couple of them get away.
They had 2 get away.
And Rico Brogna leads off here in the 9th. He's 0 for 3. He is really struggling. 1 for his last 17. Average has dipped into the 240s now. You'll see on these scores coming up, all the other National League action is now complete. One on the way, missed outside. 2-1 to Brogna. Javi Lopez waiting on deck.
Split finger fastball thrown by Beers. Almost looks like he throws it from the side and then just rolls his hand over the top of it.
Outside corner. Rico's struggles continue. First strikeout for Veers. 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. And here's Javi Lopez. He's 0 for 3.
And he's the one guy in the Braves lineup that would rather not see Dave Veers 8 times, 0 for 8.
Tonight he's popped to second once, grounded out to third twice. The 1-0. Into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. And Lopez aboard with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. First hit allowed by Veers, hit number 7 for Atlanta. And now Keith Lockhart.
Well, they were playing him to pull. They're playing the left side of the infield, everybody to pull. But Veers got the off-speed pitch up just a little bit so Javi Lopez could handle it. Pinch runner.
Marcus Giles on to run for Javi Lopez. A little more maneuverability on the Braves bench right now with the addition of Bernard Gilkey. And they change from a 12-man pitching staff to an 11-man staff. Gilkey waits on deck. Lockhart the batter. Keith is 1 for 3, a single in the 7th inning. Back the first one 0-1.
They play their defense a little bit differently with right-handers and Veers out there. They had everybody to pull. Renteria was taking the hole away, but when a left-hander comes up, they don't mirror that on the other side. They give him the hole. If anything, Vina a step closer to the bag. So there's a lot of room for Keith Lockhart between first base and second base, between Pujols and Vina.
A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They are cutting down on a little of it, though, because Pujols is now behind Giles and not holding him on.
In the shallow right. J.D. Drew there for the catch. 2 men gone. And now the Braves debut of Bernard Gilkey, who was signed by the Braves on April 12th. He was in spring training with the Cardinals, let go by them April 3rd. Braves signed him as a minor league free agent April 12th, sent him to Richmond. And in 13 games for Richmond, he had 271, drove in a couple. Batting for the first time as a Brave against his former teammates. Giles at first and 2 outs. Strikes. Gilkey's now 34 years old. 10-year major league career with a 275 overall mark, 282 while with St. Louis.
Good stretch there with St. Louis, too.
One ball, 1 strike. Also played 3 years with the Mets, couple of years with Arizona. Last year a little bit with the Red Sox. 1-1 pitch. Way outside, 2-1. Two men out in the bottom half of the 9th inning with the Braves down by 2. Out of play, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he's trying to stay out there and make sure he gets nothing to pull.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, he's thinking it's going to take 3 opposite field hits to beat me, but 1 swing of the bat on a ball pull could tie it.
Vier's trying for one of those 2-inning saves. You don't see many of those any longer. Here's this 2-2 pitch to Gilkey. Missed outside.
He's eyeballed a couple of pretty close pitches out there and not chased them.
3-2. Runner at first. 2 outs. The runner will be taking off. Rafael Furcal waits on deck. And the 3-2 to Gilkey. Struck him out. And the St. Louis Cardinals have come to Atlanta and taken the first of the 3-game series. The Braves' offensive woes continue. Cardinals win it 4-2.
And they did it behind a guy who came in here on an 0 for 11 streak. There's Edgar Renteria, but he got a couple of big hits in the 2nd inning. Singled other way. Later on, he would single in the 7th inning. Ended up with 2 RBIs. So Renteria, the difference in the ball game, and for him, snapping a bad streak, and he's our AutoZone player of the game. So the Cardinals win it 4-2. Back to wrap it up right after this.
All on the Superstation, brought to you by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. The Home Depot, first in home improvement. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. By Delta, fly with a little understanding. And by Coca-Cola, life tastes good.
First of 3 goes to the Cardinals by a 4-2 score. Here's a look at the totals. 4 runs, 8 hits, errorless ball, with 11 stranded for St. Louis. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error, and 7 stranded for the Braves. The win goes to Hermanson. The loss to Glavine. Dave Veers with a 2-inning save. The Brian Jordan did keep his 11-game hitting streak alive, but Pete, that's only 28 runs scored here at Turner Field this year for the Braves.
And the Braves now fall to 4 games under 500, remain 4 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies. Last time the Braves were 4 games under 500, 1992 in May. For all the latest scores and in-depth analysis, log on to CNNSI.com, Sports Illustrated at CNN Speed. Our next Braves telecast on TBS tomorrow at 7 Eastern Time. It'll be the Braves and the Cardinals, Game 2 of the series of Dallas Perez against Rick Ankiel. Coming up on the Superstation, Tom Cruise stars in Top Gun next on Dinner and a Movie. Until tomorrow, for Don Sutton, Skip Carey, Joe Simpson, our entire crew, Pete Van Wern from Turner Field, the Braves' offensive woes continue. Cardinals win it 4-2. So long, everyone.